Hi, welcome to the Pocket Pages book. So we're making a cloth book with lots of pages in it, and this time we're making a little pocket page that's what they call a joey pouch. So it's a little bit, I'm not sure really whether kangaroos have pouches quite that shape, but we call it a joey pouch because it might just have a little joey in it. So we're doing that. It's got the hook and loop fastening. You could put a separate colour or different colour inside if you want to. I'm using the same colour on the one that I'm making here. So what I'm going to do now is show you more or less how I've done the pattern. So if you've already signed up for the pattern with GourmetQuilter, you'll have a pattern that looks a bit like this. So it gives you an actual size shape to use to cut out the pocket shape. So again, I've used my trusty light box and I traced onto, even though it's dark fabric, if you make it bright enough, you can usually see through enough just to trace a line. So I traced the cutting line onto my fabric and I cut it out both sides. So it's just a matter of lining up that top edge, and then you can cut out the two corners, which I've got here, which I don't need. And then we can just go ahead and make the pocket. So I've actually gone ahead and I've done the stitching. We're stitching 1/4 inch in. So what we now need to do is just trim those corners off so that when we turn it out the right way, we've got nice sharp corners. Don't cut your stitching. But because we're on a curve here, we also just want to do just a few little clips in close to that stitching, just to allow that curve to shape itself when we turn it out the right way. So don't cut the stitching, just come in close. And just maybe 3 or 4 little clips in there is all we need. And then we're going to turn, so I've only sewn just that top section, you leave the sides and the bottom open. And then we can turn that out the right way and press it, and then we're going to do 2 rows of top stitching. So kind of fun, quick and easy to make this little pocket. It's a great pocket, it holds lots of things, even joeys apparently. So because we've done the clipping in the curves, we can get a nice edge coming up there, a nice smooth line along that curve. And just make sure this top edge comes out nice and straight. The little clips that we do into the corners and seams and things like that makes all the difference with how things can sit when you turn them and press them out the right way. So worth doing. So now it just needs to have 2 rows of top stitching. So I'll go ahead and do that one close to the fold and then one about 1/4 inch away. So I'll go ahead and do that and show you the next bit. So I've gone ahead, I've done my 2 rows of top stitching, but I've also sewn the hooky piece of the hook and loop on there as well. So that's pretty straightforward, that's just straight across that top edge. So to position the fluffy part of the hook and loop, which needs to go onto our background, and we're using some of the stiff stuff today as well, then I found that it was definitely easier to do my basting to hold this on first, because then we can just flip that back and we know exactly where we want to put that piece next. So I'm going to go ahead and I'll just do my little basting around those lower sides, and then I'll just come back and just show you exactly how I'm positioning that. So I've gone ahead, I've done my basting around the lower sides of my page, and I just need to pop my other piece of the fastening on. So I'm just going to flip that piece back where it's already on there so that I can get an exact place for where I want this one to go, because that's just going to close over there. And so you could pop a couple of pins in that, because this stiff interfacing allows you to pin into it, which is really convenient, but you don't want to be trying to pin in and out on this Velcro hook and loop stuff, because it just moves. So just before you go to the machine, it's worth just checking. And now I can just stitch that on and then we'll be done. So just stitching close to the edge, through the stiffening as well. These pages are so much fun. These pockets, of course, would work on other things as well, on bags and cushions, clothes, quilts, pretty much anything you can sew. trim off my threads, and my pocket is done. How much fun is that? So that's all ready now. That's pocket page number 10. That's ready to be joined together with another page, and we'll be ready next time. I'll show you page number 11.